Right, I'm here with my guy, BFG, Guna Lee. And if you know, you know what that means. I'm not going to spell it out, but it's pretty obvious when you see us together. Yeah. But listen, man, 1-0 win. It's a hard-fought game. But the upshot of that 1-0 win is that Arsenal go top of the table. So as they say, my mum used to say to me, all's well that ends well. And so it was great to get that win, top of the table. Good day, yeah?
Listen, overall, the result was fantastic. And you know what, I'm not going to spend too much time moaning about things on the pitch just because ultimately it was a game after the international break and I'm not going to kind of go too in on the players. But it wasn't a great performance. But you know what?
I knew this was going.
You know what? No, I'm gonna kind of put a bit of a positive spin on it. And I'm going to say, ultimately, these are kind of the performances where you win titles. And I think there are three players in particular that you have to give a special mention to. Declan Rice, Saliba and Gabriel. I thought that McAllister, the centre-back, those three, that sort of like trifecta.
No Zinchenko in that?
Well, yes, Zinchenko, but I think those three as a, little combination, they are fantastic. They're just so good. And ultimately, if we're going to win the league, you have to have a great defence, and that's what we've got currently. We're not conceding goals. I think we've only conceded 10 goals in the games that we played in the Premier League. So all is well at the back. Obviously, going forward, it was a hard watch. It was a real hard watch, and that was difficult to see us, not really create anything. But I felt, and James, I'm going to take James's point, I felt we did enough to score at least a goal today. I did think the goal in the first half was offside. I don't know if the lines were drawn in the right place for VAR, but overall, I was actually, happy with the performance overall, but we need to do a bit better if we want to go on and kind of go against the big teams, because we can't just expect to create minimal chances and go into games thinking we're going to win them all, because it doesn't happen like that. So, yeah, overall, positive is that we won the game.
Okay, that's fine. Let's cut to the chase. Let's get to the fulcrum of the argument. Kai Havertz, he's going to be the one that's grabbing all the headlines. He's going to be the centre of the attention. Now, when the team sheet came out today and he wasn't in the starting 11, I myself wasn't displeased with that, because I thought playing Trossard in the midfield might give us something going forward that we haven't had this season, namely a bit more fluency, a bit more fluidity. But for whatever reason, it didn't quite work out today. I'm not saying it wasn't going to work out in the future, but today it was a bit stop-starty, a bit stuttery, didn't quite work out. Havertz eventually came off the bench, had his moment, looked bright from the start as soon as he got his opportunity, and then scores an all-important goal in the 89th minute, and we go on and win the game. Could this be the start of the redemption for Havertz?
Well, listen, he got the penalty against Bournemouth away, and he should have obviously gone on and, done amazing things, but he hasn't. But what I will say today, I'm not going to say it's the same thing, but he reminded me a bit of Núñez for Liverpool. He came on, caused chaos. He did kind of put himself about. He came on straight away, and on the right-hand side, he went down and he kind of crossed the ball into the box. So, listen, overall, it was a good performance. And I know some people are going to say, yeah, like he was running around and, stuff like that. But you can't ask for anything more. You say that's the bare minimum that you want from a player like him. Now, I started off by in the previous show, in the starting 11, saying that I thought he should have started. And I don't know if you remember, I said that. And I said the reason why is because of his aerial ability. Funny enough, he scored from a header. So,
Nostradamus.
Listen, man, if you want the lottery numbers, I just make sure you all have it. But no, I will say that I thought he did well today. And I've not been one of the ones that's been on his back too much, because I felt like he hasn't been as bad as people are making him out to be. I do think that he has been a little bit better. And people always, just the same like with Ramsdale, people always pick out the negatives. And listen, even myself, I was so shocked with what I was seeing with Ramsdale in the first half. But I saw some really, really good things that no one's going to mention. But listen, man, it is what it is.
That's because only you saw them, right?
Listen, that's people. Agendas are going to agenda, innit? But listen, I thought Havertz he's been okay, and today he was good. He was good, and to top it off with that goal, you can see he's been working hard. And it came for him, and that was his moment. And
yeah, I'm happy for him, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure you saw it as well at the end of the game. The manager was hugging him and they went for a little run towards the Arsenal section of the crowd there. And it seems to be that they were all celebrating. All the other players went up to him, congratulated him as well. Could this be the game that turns his career at Arsenal around?
Do you know what I was going to say? I remember the Declan Rice moment against Man United at home when he scored in the last minute. And listen, he's been fantastic. He's honestly, everyone's going to say it, but at 105 mil, he literally looks like we haven't paid. I feel like we have to pay West Ham a little bit more money. That's how good he's been, and people know.
Wow.
People know I wanted Caicedo, but listen,
you always come up with some good sayings, but that's a good one.
He has been really, really good. But I will say, I feel like this might be Havertz's moment to say, do you know what? He may not be this, amazing footballer every single game, but he's going to do a bit more, because there's been times where he could have turned and drive forward into space and he just passes back or passes to the side, and he reminds me a bit of El Nene at times. But I feel like this might be the moment where he kind of arrived. He's arrived now. It's taken him 19 games or whatever it is, but he's now here. And he's an Arsenal
here
player.
to stay.
He's listen. I'm happy with him here, man. I don't think he's been as bad. And it's the irony of him scoring the last minute goal when Chelsea are losing 4-1 today is a beautiful moment as well. So
yeah, that's a real irony. Right?
Listen, man. So overall, all is good. And I will say, I just want to end on with the whole Ramsdale thing, because
I was going to say we should cover that, because I know that you're in the Ramsdale camp.
We must cover this, because he is getting so much stick, and it gets on my nerves. It does get on my nerves, because people are going to pick out the negative points. And you made a point which even I didn't really want to go into, but he made a mistake and it didn't lead to a goal. But when Raya does it, it's all this, well, he's playing the way that the manager wants. Like, people do need to get off.
But in a way that you think is kind of interesting, if not somewhat sad, that the way the whole situation, it's almost like it's got the fan base taking one side or the other. It's a very difficult situation right now with the goalkeepers, yeah?
I'm not too sure if it's as big as that in terms of, because I feel like everybody is not really bothered about which keeper, because I don't really think that either of the two keepers are amazing. I just think that Ramsdale.
But you prefer Ramsdale?
I do think he's a better keeper. Obviously today he didn't cover himself in the most glory, but I think he's a better keeper. But listen, man, it's not really about him, because we know he's not going to play the next game. We know he's probably not going to play in any of the Champions League games, so we're going to just have to keep it moving. But
does he stay come January?
I don't think he'll go in January. I can't see him going in January. I think it would be foolish. But you know what? In my head, the way more I think about it, I actually don't think if Arteta cares about if he goes, because he doesn't rate him. So I think he would only keep him because of the English, the quota that we've got to reach. And obviously he is a good deputy, or, number 2 or 1B or whatever it is. So yeah, I'm not too sure if Arteta would be that bothered. But I just think that people are going, same thing like with Havertz, people are going way over the top with some of his mistakes that he's making in games. And listen, man, like, Ramsdale was one of the big reasons why we are where we are today. Like, he got us into the Champions League, and we have to just keep moving. But we're top of the tree. King Kai, what a day.
And in closing, do you think today a win like this shows that Arsenal has what it takes to go on and win the Premier League?
Well, I predicted us to win the league before the season started. Like,
you did.
People say I'm crazy, but
they do.
Well, do you know what? I feel like you're the one that are putting them out there. You're putting a hit out for me, but I will say that people are maybe not as optimistic as me. I do think we can win it, but one thing I'm going to take from today, and this is one thing I have to say: we can't win the league, in my opinion, with Havertz and Nketiah and Jesus as our front three, as in terms of a number 9, because it's not going to work. We just don't have enough goals. We can't keep relying on bits of magic. And as good as
who do you want to see coming?
Oh, that's the $1 million question. I think Tony, he's good, but I don't know. I don't know if I've seen enough of him to say he is the guy. I'm not going to sit here and say he's crap, because he's not, but I just don't know if he's good enough to get us over over that top and over the level. I know there's the Juventus striker Vlahovic, sorry.
Yeah. There's also
Osimhen, again, I think he's going to probably go Chelsea, so I'm not even going to sort of put my hat in there for that one. But it's a tough one, because the market for the strikers is just so poor. Like, you've got Rasmus Højlund going for £70 million, and he's not even a made man. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure who to go for. But if you had to, put a gun to my head, I would probably go with Tony, just because I've seen him in the Premier a little bit more, and I know he can be a bit of a bully boy against some of the big teams. And hopefully he can get us to the point where we need to go, which is the promised land, because ultimately we have to do something this season, because we've spent the money, we've had the time, and Arteta's had the backing. But today, overall, listen, shout out to Kai Havertz, man. He came on, he made a difference, and we moved to the next game, man.
Okay, Gunnar Lee, honest and forthright as usual. Always a pleasure to talk to you.